Что там?
Дежурим.
Выстрел!
По готовности огонь, огонь.
Выстрел!
By Russian Defense Ministry on progress of special military.
In accordance with the order of the Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation, due to humanitarian reasons, during the holidays on the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the Great Victory, all the groups of forces deployed in the Special Military Operations Zone continue to strictly observe the ceasefire since midnight of May 8, remaining in previously taken positions. Despite the announcement of the ceasefire, the AFU formations continue to engage in combat actions against Russian troops. The AFU made 4 attempts to penetrate the state border of the Russian Federation in Kursk and Belgorod regions, launched 22 attacks, and made an attempt of reconnaissance in force near Tetkino, Kursk region, Pavlovka, Budki, Sumy region, Bereznyaki, Kharkov region, Novoyegorovka, Lugansk People's Republic, Lipovoy, Redkadub, Valentinovka, Dzerzinsk, Romanovka, Novolinovka, Myrolyubovka, Ulyanovka, Yelizavetovka, Troitskoy, Alexievka, Novoalexandrovka, Kotlyarovka, Novosergievka, and Veseloy, Donetsk People's Republic. Along the line of contact, Ukrainian units attacked positions of Russian troops 2,669 times by tube artillery, tanks, and mortars, as well as delivered 46 strikes by MLRS projectiles. In addition, 6,562 UAV strikes and munition drops from drones were attempted by the AFU. In total, 9,318 violations of the ceasefire have been recorded. In these circumstances, the armed forces of the Russian Federation respond to the violations of the ceasefire by the AFU in an equal manner and will continue to act according to the situation by addressing all criminal assaults of the Kiev regime. Units of the Sever Group of Forces inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of 2 territorial defense brigades, which did not observe the temporary ceasefire regime, near Beselovka and Pavlovka, Sumy region. The AFU losses amounted to up to 220 troops, 4 armored fighting vehicles, 10 motor vehicles, and 6 field artillery guns. 1 ammunition depot was destroyed. Units of the Zapad Group of Forces repelled an attack of the enemy near Lipovoy, Donetsk People's Republic. The AFU losses amounted to up to 170 troops, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 6 motor vehicles, 1 Grad MLRS launcher, and 1 NATO-made artillery gun. 1 Kraken electronic warfare station and 1 ammunition depot were destroyed. Units of the Yug Group of Forces repelled an attack of the enemy near Valentinovka, Donetsk People's Republic. The AFU losses amounted to more than 110 troops, 4 armored fighting vehicles, 10 motor vehicles, and 3 field artillery guns. 1 ammunition depot was destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces repelled 8 attacks of the enemy near Novolinovka, Ulyanovka, Myrolyubovka, Yelizavetovka, Kotlyarovka, Novosergievka, and Alexievka, Donetsk People's Republic. The AFU losses amounted to more than 130 troops, 4 armored fighting vehicles, 9 motor vehicles, and 3 field artillery guns. 1 electronic warfare station was destroyed. Units of the Vostok Group of Forces inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of 2 mechanized brigades of the AFU, which did not observe the temporary ceasefire regime, near Bogodar, Zelenoy Pol, and Novopol, Donetsk People's Republic. The AFU losses amounted to up to 130 troops, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 4 motor vehicles, and 2 field artillery guns. 1 use-made/TPQ-48 counterbattery radar was destroyed. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on formations of 1 mechanized brigade of the AFU, which did not observe the temporary ceasefire regime, near Novodanilovka, Zaporozhye region, and Poniatowka, Kherson region. The AFU losses amounted to more than 20 troops, 6 motor vehicles, and 1 field artillery gun. Operational tactical aviation, attack unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the Russian groups of forces have not delivered any strikes. Over the past 24 hours, air defense units shot down 1 use-made JDAM guided aerial bomb and 86 fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the enemy has lost 662 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 56,592 unmanned aerial vehicles, 605 anti-aircraft missile systems, 23,265 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,561 MLRS combat vehicles, 24,624 field artillery guns and mortars, 35,237 units of support military vehicles,